So about a year ago, I was struggling with my Hero Black 10, and its inability to be able to record audio properly without real issues, clipping and bits like that. So I made the switch today, or a couple of days ago, to a Dji Osmo Action 4. And I'm keen to see how it comes across, because I'm using the mics that are the mini Bluetooth mics that you can get from Dji as well. And I've got two paired, one's just in my pocket and one's in my helmet with a magnet. And I just want to see what it's like and how much better it is or isn't. Because I get the feeling, based just on how it was to set up and the ease of use so far, it's going to be a dramatic improvement over the GoPro experience, because my GoPro experience personally has been dire. I have not enjoyed my experience with GoPro at all over the past 2 years. And the stuff that I've got from Dji is all stuff that I've bought myself. I don't have any sponsors or anything like that. I'm nowhere near big enough for sponsors. I'm wearing really big gloves for the first time in ages, and I'm doing the thing where you like got fat fingers and being a bit heavy-handed with all the controls on my bike. I'm not being particularly smooth today. It doesn't help that I've not ridden for a while either, which is, I don't know, just symptomatic of a couple of things. So the new job's going fantastic. It's just mental, like crazy busy. Family life, we've got 3 kids in 3 different schools in 3 different towns, all doing start and finish times at 3 different times, and my wife is run bloody ragged. I'm trying to cover all the bits that I need to do work wise and bits like that, and also we've still got a bit of a hole to dig ourselves out of post wedding and redundancy and stuff like that, because redundancy wasn't a favourable redundancy. It didn't get any benefit payout or anything like that, and still owed an obscene amount of money off the back of that. So it is just a case of kind of other stuff's taken priority for a little while in life, and I'm now at a point where I really miss doing this. I miss just chatting nonsense. But when I did want to do it previously, every time I went to do it, the GoPro let me down. So there's probably been a half dozen different variations of setup and adaptation on the GoPro that I've tried. They've all failed in various issues, or the quality's just been so substandard that I'm not comfortable with it. So it's all just been thrown away. So I'm out trying out Dji, and we'll see how good Dji is in comparison to a GoPro. I'm hoping quite positive, but let's see. I'm still rocking the Indian Chief as my only bike at the moment. Again, that fun financial situation off the back of the redundancy is keeping me to a single bike. I do have some opinions on whether or not I'd buy a brand new bike again, but I'll get into that later. Just because of the cost, the commitment and all that fun jazz, I'm not sure I would. But what I have had from the what do you call them, dealer experience, so there's Freedom Motorcycles in March, which is a couple of miles away from me, who are an Indian dealership. Well, they're a Polaris dealership. And I'll be honest, I had a problem with the bike where it died on me, just wouldn't start. Went through all the fuses, did all the usual stuff, just couldn't get the bugger to start, and it was absolutely not playing ball at all, and it turned out to be this switch pod. I took it to the dealer. Sorry, I didn't take it to the dealer. I phoned the dealer, explained the situation. Yeah, it's under warranty and stuff like that, but I phoned them on a Thursday. On a Friday, they came over at 7 o'clock to my house, tried to sort it out in my garage, couldn't get it up and rolling, took the bike away, and I had it back Saturday morning, and it had been serviced and had an oil change. So if you're in Cambridgeshire or Huntingdonshire or any of these sorts of areas around here, and you're looking for a bike like this, go talk to the guys in March of Freedom Motorcycles, because they're bloody amazing. Their service is second to none. I genuinely, yeah, we bought a car from Toyota similar sort of time as this, and the customer service from Toyota is pish in comparison to the Freedom Motorcycle guys. They're absolutely brilliant, and you just phone them up, you can have a chat with them, pop in there, have a nosy around some bikes, have a cup of coffee. They're always good. And yeah, any problems, they just get fixed. There's no screwing about, there's no messing around, there's no real challenge with it. You just really good service, which is, I think, missing in a lot of places at the moment. There's far too much, you know, just shitty service without really thinking about longevity of customers and bits like that, whereas I think those guys are absolutely nailing it at the minute. I'll 100% be going back there with this one, and if I do decide to get another bike that they're selling, I'll be over the moon to get it from them. But I'm very likely to be going for a second-hand bike next. The new experience is great, but I can't really fettle it and tinker. I can just bolt on bits or bolt off bits. There's no playing with solving, you know, there's no quirks or nuances to the bike. It's all just whereas my Tiger and even the CB650R, because that was dropped when I bought it, had some fun bits and pieces, and the Gixxer that I had, they all needed fettling and playing with and having a bit of, you know, garage time with, whereas this just doesn't. Outside of that, and that was electronics, that's not something you know, it's all ribbon connections and stuff like that. I can't sort that crap out. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, I think once I'm finished playing with this one, because I do enjoy riding it, it is fun. I do think the next bikes will be slightly older, slightly more problematic, but probably quite a lot more fun to own. But yeah, I did get a chance to have a look at the Osmo footage with the audio, and I think it solved the vast majority of the problems I was facing, which is absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. I've got to say, the Dji setup with the camera, the mics, the mounting system, sorry if I keep putting my hand in front of the camera, I'm just checking it's on, because it's the magnetic clip mounting system, but so much easier than a GoPro. Right, everything about this camera is just bloody easier than a GoPro. I've yet to see anything. I've only been using it for an hour or so, but I've yet to see a reason why I would ever be tempted back from the Dji stuff. It is genuinely that much better to use. I'm not sure about other features for other people, like there might be certain situations and things like that where the GoPro is better, but certainly for my use case and for what I'm doing with it, there's just no comparison. I don't think it could be any simpler a setup, especially with these little Bluetooth mics. Like I say, all I've done is I've glued a little magnet, which is off of a notice board, to the inside of the helmet and covered it with a little bit of Gorilla Tape, so it's all hidden away. I just chuck the mic in there, it clips on magnetically in what feels like the right spot, and yeah, that's it, it's done. It picks up with the camera, and the camera picks up both of them. So the set that I got has two of the mics, so I've put one of them in my little pocket bag here, my little like side pouch here, just to see what it's like picking up a little bit of the exhaust note, because it'd be nice if you can actually hear my bike when I'm riding. But it's a smaller form factor. It's slightly smaller than the Hero 10. It's got bigger screens, better clarity, and I think the menus are a little bit more intuitive than the GoPro menus as well. So, and I am down on GoPro, so I think that's fair to consider, is the fact that my experience with GoPro has been bad, so my opinion on GoPro is tainted because I think they're crap. And I think the kind of having to plug in peripherals to be able to use a microphone and bits like that, and just it never working quite right. And I've had the media mod, I've had the little external adapter and done all of that, and it was always clipping. You could never get the sound quite right. And I know there's other people out there who've been, who have had great success with the GoPro and have worked really well for them. But for my use case, like, I don't do this as a living. I'm not planning on this being any kind of form of income. I'm doing this because I like it. And if something as stupid as a bloody GoPro is preventing me from liking what I'm doing, I'm just never going to use it again. So we'll likely end up giving it to one of the kids to play with. But yeah, other than that, it's a lovely day. It's a little chilly, but not horrendous. And I get to play on my motorbike for an hour or so, having had a rather large but rather expensive omelette. Yeah, I think one of the big things for me for doing this is I kind of got out the habit of using the camera and having fun with that sort of stuff. And I just want to get back into the small errands and the little bits of running around and stuff. There's no reason why, like today, rather than me just jumping in the car with the family, is I can hop on the bike, go for a little spin, chat a little nonsense, and be done. And it's just nice being on two wheels again. Even if I'm only, because this bike has been the least ridden bike of all of mine. It's done 3,500 miles in about 18 months of ownership, which is mental. I mean, I was doing on the Tiger, granted I was commuting to and from London on a fairly frequent basis, but between the other bikes I was averaging between 10 and 12,000 miles a year. To go down to 1,200 miles a year is a ridiculous decline. But I think there's wedding, kids, life, all that sort of stuff kind of takes priority, doesn't it? But a lot of it's settling, I think. As they get older and start learning to drive, hopefully that'll alleviate some of the pressure my wife's feeling, because of my work, she's generally the one doing the school runs and bits like that, and she works herself, so she's running around like a blue ass fly pre 8:30, getting all the kids to the relevant places so she can be in her school for work for 8:30, and I think it works out to about 35-mile round trip before she gets to work, which is fine if that's a commute, but she's having to go to 2 different schools before going back to her place of work every morning. It is a bit of a slog for her, and then she gets to do it at the end of the school day when I'm still sat in my company office in meetings. So yeah, it's but hopefully not forever. I think she's something that she did do, which I think is a very admirable thing, is she was really honest with the employer and at the place she works, and just turned around and went, look, I'm struggling to fit everything in. I could do with finishing a little early on a couple of days to be able to do bits with the kids and stuff like that. They were absolutely fine with that. She's obviously very valued where she works, so they were absolutely fine with that, and they've made some small adjustments to make her life easier. And it means that some of that pressure is going to come off, and our eldest is just learning to drive, so hopefully that'll mean in the next 6 months or so she'll be driving, and we won't have any of this running her to and from college and bits like that, and her going to her girlfriend's, which is halfway across the bloody Norfolk County. I'll be really interested to see what this is like with the wind reduction and stuff like that, where I'm just doing 60, 65. And I'll share the settings that I've got, bits like that, in the comments section below, in the description below, just to if anybody's interested. But if you, in all fairness, if you're on the fence about getting a Dji or something like that, or moving away from the GoPro family, like, don't just do it. It's been a single day of playing with this, and it's already such a better user experience. Even to connecting to the phone, I had a just over a 16-minute clip when we were sat having lunch just now, and it took about 2 minutes to download it to my phone so I could review the footage. Which, if you've tried to do the same thing on the GoPro app and stuff like that, and then when you've got to sign into the cloud count, you need this, you need that, you need everything else. Whereas this is just like, yeah, do you want to transfer it? Okay, was it across? It's just entirely less cocking about, which is exactly what I want in my life at the moment. Just a little bit more ease of use in things. So yeah, if you've made it this far, fantastic, thank you very much for watching. I'm hopefully going to suck less at uploading videos going forward. I've still got the Strange Monkey website ticking over in the background. I'll leave a link to that below if you want some silly t-shirts.